This is why boomers are traveling all over the country, is to go to where their children have been forced to live and laugh at them. This is what boomers like to do. They go, that you pay this for that? That's the whole point. Anytime a boomer gets in a plane, it is so that the plane can land and they can go to their children's house and go, oh my God, this is what you're living in? This is how you live? And the reason for that is because boomers refuse to sell their houses. Boomers are 85 years old, riddled with 4 cancers, and will not sell their house unless they make $900,000. They have been
Yo, what's going on, man? If you didn't realize, today we're going over boomers. Yes, that one generation that lucked up the most out of every generation that ever was, honestly. Boomers are just ridiculously wealthy at this point. Like, there's never been a more wealthy generation than the boomers, you know? Just look at everybody who's in charge, like right now. Nancy Pelosi, boomer. Donald Trump, boomer. You know what I'm saying? Bibi Netanyahu, Israeli prime minister, boomer. You know what I'm saying? They're the most strategically, in place generation that ever was, you know? And any generation that's coming up, including mine, after them, has it ridiculously hard. Just ridiculously hard. Like, everything is just tough for us, you know? And it's because our future was stolen. Honestly, stolen and sold away to a generation before us. And that's basically what I'm just going over this time today. You know, today I'm in my son's playroom because if you didn't know, I had a baby. I mean, some of y'all actually know me, but if you don't know me, I had a baby, man. I might post a picture, I might not, I don't know. But yeah, so I haven't been really making videos lately, but I want to get back on the grind. Thank you guys for stopping by. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel, you feel me? Trying to get this grind back going. And yeah, today we're talking about boomers, man. Somebody got to talk about them. Nah, a lot of people are talking about them. It's just crazy how lucky, honestly, it's luck, you know what I'm saying? These guys have it. So yeah, let me not keep ranting, but let's get into it.
Impoverished. An entire generation of people that cannot get into the real estate market because boomers themselves refuse to leave. There's all kinds of articles about this now, and it's hilarious. Boomers will not relinquish their hold on suburban real estate in America. They won't. They won't do it. If they took a little less money, for example, for their house, if the boomers went, you know what? I'll take a little less money for this house and I'll just put it back on the market so that someone else could have a shot. But boomers are sitting there. They've got 17 pills they take every day just to stay alive. And they pick up the phone and the real estate agent goes, maybe we could do this. We can get you this. And they go, absolutely not. Absolutely not.
They do be sounding like that.
Will never get this house.
That's the thing that really gets me. It's like the arrogance of these people, you know? Like, they really think they're like so smart. Like, they think they are just like God on earth. Like, some of these egos old people be having just be like nasty. Absolutely nasty, bro. I hope when I get old, I'm not just an asshole like that, thinking that I know everything and that I can like give advice to young people. You know what I'm saying? Like, even when my kid get older, I know things are gonna be tough for him because of AI and everything that comes involved with that. Like, things are just different, you know. This is not back in the day where I was a farmer and then my son's a farmer, then his son's a farmer, and then, like, no, that's not how things are nowadays. You know, things are rapidly changing. You know, I might be a content creator, my son might be a physicist, or you know, he might be something else, a data analysis or something. You know, there's so many different fields that are coming up, and a lot of fields that are going away. You know what I'm saying? So things are just not the same. Like, back, they really think that you can do the exact same thing they did and have the same results. Like, Like that ignorance is it just makes things worse, you know? And then again, these people are in charge of everything. They own everything, you know? It's just so frustrating.
For under 1.9, they refuse to leave because it's their biggest coup d'etat. The boomer having a McMansion in a place like Long Island is the thing that they have that allows them to, they're the lord of the manor, and they can impress upon their children what failures they are because they don't live in the style that the boomers live in.
No one wants to work anymore. I'm working 3 jobs and selling feet pics just to afford oat milk. I Venmo'd my landlord with Monopoly money and a prayer this month. When I was your age, pal, I bought a house at 22. With what? Courage and a handshake? You paid $35,000 for a house and complained it was too much. My rent is $3,400 and my bathroom has a raccoon in it. Maybe if you stopped buying lattes. I drink instant coffee and stare at the wall. I made soup out of a ketchup packet yesterday. You kids are just lazy. I DoorDash, babysit, freelance edit, and sell clothes online. And technically, I'm on a Zoom call right now. Sounds like you're just bad at managing time. My calendar looks like a Tetris board having a stroke. Nobody wants to work anymore. We all want to work. We just also want to survive the working. I blinked and accidentally picked up a shift at a place I don't even work at.
Like, they try to make it seem like you're not working hard enough. You're not doing enough. You know what I'm saying? Like, even my own family look at me and be like, oh, you're not doing enough. Keep in mind, I got 2 kids now. I'm working hard. I'm doing everything. I'm trying to even make a YouTube channel. I'm doing a lot. You know what I'm saying? But even with that being said, I'm never going to have what my parents had or their parents unless I make $1 million out of nowhere someday. You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, go ahead, check out the description, help me out. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead, leave a like and subscribe because I need y'all. I'm trying to get that boomer life. You feel me? But like I said, like, you can't just work your way out of shit nowadays. What the hell? You can't save your way out of anything. You literally need to know how to like scam something or how to finesse. You gotta finesse. Like, you literally have to make money out of thin air nowadays. It feels like you literally have to like pull a rabbit out the hat just to survive nowadays, man. For reals, it's getting really bad. Really, really bad.
Last week I cried into a burrito, then delivered it, 5 stars. I make $12 an hour, and my therapist costs $200. I cry economically now. Well, maybe, if you found a real job. Your job was selling fax machines. Ours is selling our souls for engagement. You retired at 52. I'll retire at death. Just need to hustle more. I hustle so hard, my dreams have LinkedIn profiles. I updated my resume in my sleep. It says, please help.
I mean, these damn kids are so lazy. No one wants to work anymore. What are you talking about? Every single one of my friends has a very good paying job and they work very hard, so I don't know what you're talking about. I'm talking about the fact that I had a 16-bedroom house by 19 with 4 kids and a wife. Yeah, and back when you were buying a house, all you needed was 2 jelly beans and your driver's license, so it's a little bit harder now.
What?
House is like 8 times your income. It's no longer 1 or 2 times. I mean, it's all excuses. I used to wake up every morning at 5 a.m. just to grind my bones down into a fine powder, just so I'd have something to eat. That's how bad things were. What are you talking about? You were just telling me that you and your wife went on 4 vacations a year with the kids. Yeah, but that wasn't easy. Deborah, she had to get a part-time babysitting job just so we could swing that. Times were tough back then.
Yeah, that shit's crazy, man. Ain't nobody going on fucking vacations. Vacations is like it's a fever dream. What the fuck? A vacation? I literally took some days off for just maternity leave. Like I said, I had a baby. Came back to work, and they're like, "Oh, you was on vacation?" Fuck no, I wasn't on no vacation. I had a baby. If I had time to go on vacation, I need to take that time and make more money. What? I'm not gonna take time off work. Crazy? This is not 1995. This is not 1982. Like, ain't nobody going on vacation. If you're going on vacation, it's literally putting you back. You literally just like, you know what? I'm gonna just take the L, lose some time, lose some money, and go on vacation. It's no longer, oh, I'm gonna go on vacation and enjoy myself and really come back and still have the same amount of funds and still be well off. Like, no. You take a vacation, you're taking a big hurt to your pockets. No, I don't give a fuck who you is.
What are you talking about? The economy is horrible right now. Literally, we're in one of the worst recessions of all time, like ever. The dollar's worth its least amount. Well, times weren't always easy for us too. Even though we got our house for a couple jelly beans, we only sold it for 1.5 million. Should've got way more.
I'm exceptionally tired of this super elder Gen X, younger boomer take, forgetting just how good they had it. Their income level compared to their cost of living was absurd. Okay, so story time. I lived in West Pennsylvania for just shy of a year, okay? Little town northwest of Pittsburgh. And I used to talk, these were some of the sweetest people, but at the same time, some of the most decrepit and disconnected from reality human beings I have ever met. Just in that way that only a curmudgeonly elder Gen X or boomer can be. I was talking to this guy one day. This is 2007. Okay, this dude's in his, at the time, mid-40s. And he's talking about how he wants to vote in the people that are going to bring back manufacturing jobs. Let's forget the fact that this is not happening. No one's bringing back manufacturing jobs. It's not happening. It's a dream. It's a fantasy land that they're still buying, right?
It's manufacturing jobs are never coming back. Jobs like that are never coming back. Why? Because boomers sold us the fuck out. All the boomers who own those factory jobs, whatever, they sold out and made even more money. You know what I'm saying? They sent them overseas. Who did that? Boomers did. That shit is ridiculous. They literally closed the ladder behind them. They said, we're going to make all this money and everybody behind us is just not going to make any money. Forget trying to be like us. Ain't nobody going to do it. And they're just such a big generation that they was able to vote all these policies in, I think about my mom, I remember being a kid and my mom making a big fuss they're trying to make these new apartments in our neighborhood, right? And she's like, I don't want these new apartments in our neighborhood because it's going to bring down the value of the home. It's going to be more traffic, this, that. Whatever reason she had, she did not want to build more apartments in her neighborhood. Well, guess what? There's nowhere to live around here. So I can't live next to my mom because the rent is ridiculous. It's $4,000 for one bedroom. I'm not gonna spend $4,000. Come on, bro. That shit don't make no sense. But if they would have let more property, more apartments to be built, I would have somewhere to be, But that whole gatekeeping and hoarding the wealth and making sure securing the wealth so nobody else can come up damn near, it's just destroyed a whole generation and all the generations behind them. And I'm not the type of person to be like, let's come. I'm not a socialist. We don't need to come take the wealth from these people. We just need to make policies that make it possible for others to come up. They literally got the American dream and they pawned that shit immediately, and they cashed it in. And now we're all trying to catch up or try to make it because there's nothing left. There's no more American dream left. They spent it all up, man. It's just ridiculous.
Still buying it today in 2024. They were absolutely still buying it through the 90s and the 2000s. This guy worked at a factory, and these are the numbers he told me. I happened to look these numbers up yesterday to make sure that they were true. Walking in off the street, a high school kid could get, shy of $11 an hour, which is in the low $30 an hour, today's money. He was a floor supervisor. I want to say he made $16, $17 an hour. He was 22 at the time, in 1990, at a factory. That's $48 an hour in today's money. Let's forget the fact that everything was cheaper then. So not only is this 22-year-old with no high school education able to find a job where even at the entry level he's making $30 an hour in change. At 22, this guy is making the modern equivalent of $48 an hour. Everything's half the cost comparatively. I'm not even talking about based on inflation. Everything they have to buy is half the cost. At the time, I want to say the numbers were the average house was twice his annual salary. maybe a little more than that. Today, it's like 10 times the average person, 11 times the average person's salary. And these are the same people telling you that you are not working hard enough, that they were able to do it on their entry-level job, so if you're not doing it, you're just fucking lazy.
Boomers genuinely piss me off, bro. You're delusional. You are 100% delusional, bro. They have caused every single crisis known to man right now. The mental health crisis, the economic crisis, the climate crisis. It's all their fault. They put so much shit in the ozone layer. They've crashed the economy multiple times because they don't even know how it works. They panic sell and they FOMO buy. They don't know how the economy works at all. They're stupid. They're genuinely stupid. I don't understand how some of these people exist. You know, half of them are still back to working at Walmart now because their retirement has run out. It's not fun and games anymore, is it, huh? You guys can't survive now, huh? Because we're about to hit the worst recession in history. And you want to tell me, oh, just pull yourself up by your bootstraps and work harder. What are you talking about? First of all, no one's hiring. Second of all, the housing prices have gone through the roof, and due to corporate housing buying, everything is rent, not own. I have to rent anywhere I want to live now. So on top of paying like $2,000 for rent, now I have to also pay for all my utilities, and I don't even get to own the house eventually. That's just money that's getting drained out of my wallet. So what are you talking about, pull myself up by my bootstraps? Buddy, when your housing market was there, it was like $800 for a normal house, and you made like $1,000 each month. Bullshit! I don't see a reason why you're not extremely wealthy. You could have been the biggest landlord, and you chose to be lazy.
That's one thing I will say. If you are a boomer and like you don't have a house, like you literally like out here like homeless, I hate to say it, but I don't feel bad for you. I do not feel bad for homeless old people. You literally wasted your life. Like you had the most opportunity to ever exist on the planet of Earth. And you didn't make it work? You didn't get a house for 20 grand? What? 20 grand houses. And you didn't cop one? That's insane. What was you doing? Like, I can't, like, when I see like a homeless boomer, I'm just like, what was you doing? You didn't you didn't cop one of these freebies? You know what I'm saying? What the fuck? Bro, that shit is so annoying. But then they looking at us, the younger generation, like, what the hell's wrong with y'all? Like, it's crazy.
These people living in like modern comfort. They're just barely passing by. How are you barely passing by?
Let's go back in time to buy a house. In 1983, I'm an average person looking to buy an average house. I got this average degree, which I got for free, and work an average job. After paying tax and rent, I have, if I save 50% of the remainder, it'll take me 2 years to save up for the 20% deposit. Remember that as we head back to 2023 and I'm still an average person looking to buy an average house, got this average degree, and I have an average job. After paying tax, rent, and HECS, I have, if I save 50% of the remainder, it'll take me 10.5 years to save up for the 20% deposit. It's clear that it's not just lazy, layabout young people sipping lattes that's causing the problem. It would take me 84 years to save up enough money if I skip having a latte every day just for the deposit. I don't have 84 years left. In 40 years, the average house price has increased by 14 times, whereas full-time salaries have only increased by 4.7 times. Another way of looking at it is, houses used to cost 3 times the salary, and now they cost 10 times. All things being equal, you'd have to be making $300,000 a year to benefit from that same 3 times ratio. You might be thinking $90,000, wow, that's high. It is. That's because CEOs and vice chancellors taking home millions inflate the total pool of income and skew the average high. If we look at the median, that is the figure in the middle of all figures, that's around 48,000. So if you're making more than that, you're making more than 50% of all working people in Australia. And still, housing is so far out of reach. There's something bigger at play here, and it's going to take me a bit longer than one video to explain. In part 2, I'm going to explain the cause, and part 3, the solution. If you haven't already, please hit all these buttons on the right hand side, and together we're going to get to the bottom of this housing crisis, and maybe we can fix it.
I mean, I hate that they be like, how are we gonna fix this? Build more houses. God, it's so dumb. I just feel like the government is not even doing its job. Isn't the government's job to help the people? Why the fuck are we sending money to different countries when we got regular people in our own country who do not have a house? There's a new class of people called the working homeless. There's people out there working 2 jobs with no home. Think about that. 2 jobs, no home. Thank God I found an apartment out. God, this is all Jesus where I live. You know what I'm saying? But there's people out there, 2 jobs, nowhere to live. Like, things are getting so bad. And it's an easy fix. All they gotta do is just build more houses. Just build more houses. Spend $50 billion on housing. It's not hard. Spend $200 billion on housing. Ain't nobody gonna be mad at that. If Congress was like, we're gonna spend $200 billion on housing, you think people are gonna be mad? Like, nah, we don't need the boomers might. The boomers might be mad because their houses are gonna go down. The prices, that $40,000 house that now sells for $500,000 might not be $500,000 no more, because now there's a complex of places to live around the corner where people can live now. You know what I'm saying? That shit don't make no sense, man. Like, again, I'm not trying to take people's houses. We don't need socialism. Socialism is not the answer. We don't need to eat the rich. That's not what we need to do. We need to provide places to be. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, the boomers are in charge right now. They're literally in charge. Like, and they've always been in charge. Like, the government has literally catered to these boomers since they was born. And this is not the same generation that fought. This is not the greatest generation that lived. This is not the people who fought in World War I or World War II. These are the babies of that generation. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? It's just, I don't know, man. Let me stop ranting.
I really can't afford to buy a house right now. That's what you get for buying all that avocado toast in Starbucks. I don't eat avocado toast or drink coffee. Well, you should have gone to school to get a better job. I have a master's degree and a 6-figure paying job. Okay, well, no one said you had to go to college. Okay, you had to get an apprenticeship. Now you're in all that student loan debt. I worked my way through college and I have no student loan debt. Then if you don't have any money, it's because you're not saving it correctly. Most of my capital is in investments, cryptos, and savings. I spend less than 10% of the money I get, as most of it either goes to rent or savings. I'm worth $250,000 and I can't buy a house. It's because you like socialism. Fuck you.
The fact is that baby boomers could go to college and get a summer job and pay for their college, okay? And then they didn't go to college, they could go to high school and then go wait online and get a job where you could support a wife and kids off of that job. And that was the way of the world previously, that my grandfather worked in factories his whole life and his wife didn't work. And that was that. He owned a house, he sent kids to college, he had 2 cars, like they had a nice life. And these kids today come out with 6 figures of debt and are getting a job at, Starbucks, and houses are going for like $600,000 for, you know what I mean, for that same humble house that my grandfather had. The baby boomers all got rich by the value of their house just going up.
Agree more.
And it seems like not a one of them ever went, hey, but aren't we kind of like pulling up the ladder on the helicopter here? Like, if my house is like skyrocketing in value, that's nice for me. I got a HELOC and I got like some money coming in now that I can invest in the market that's going up and make this income coming in. But what about the next generation? How are they ever going to buy a house?
They don't care.
And like, no one seemed to care about that.
They don't care.
Are boomers ruining the housing market? Oh yeah. You know how old a home buyer was in 2007 in America?
How old?
39 years of age, which means they were born in 1968 when they were buying homes in 2007. Now, if we flash forward to today, to 2025, do you know how old home buyers are in America?
How old are home buyers in America today?
The median age was 56 years old for people buying property in America.
Damn, so boomers are real.
Wait! So you're telling me that 17 years has passed since 2007, right?
Has it been 17 years since 2000?
Yes. And during that same time frame, the median age of a home buyer also went up 17 years?
Oh, shoot.
Which means the largest group of people buying homes in 2007 were born in 1968. And the people who are buying a home today were born in 1968. Yeah.
I don't want to wait till I'm 56 to buy a home.
He's never going to buy a house, man. there's only been one generation really buying houses like that. You know what I'm saying? And I hate to be the person who be like, oh yeah, the boomers, we gotta get the boomers. But, you know, facts are facts. You know what I'm saying? Like, the problem is this generation of people who run our country. They vote a certain way. They make policies a certain way. They put up red tape in all kinds of fields and industries, so you can't get into them. There's no, you know, so you can't just make a lemonade stand. What happened to lemonade stands? I haven't seen a lemonade stand since I was a kid. I had like 3 lemonade stands when I was a kid. You can't do that no more. Why? Because boomers got up and said, you know what? We gotta put regulations on lemonade stands. You can't, you need a permit, you need this, you need that. If I see a lemonade stand in front of my house, I'm gonna have a fit. And that mentality right there killed America. That mentality, oh, I gotta make sure that everybody else gotta follow these rules type of mentality for them to make it. Instead of just having the free enterprise of America, you get up off your ass, go hustle, and you make it. That mentality is gone. So many regulations, so much red tape, so many permits you need. You literally need like $5,000 just to start anything. You want to sell burgers? You want to go sell burgers out your backyard? You need $5,000. You know, so you need to get the permit. You need to get the food handling, business license, all kinds of just bullshit that some boomer decided you needed to do. Just so you can't compete. Really, it's competition. They don't want you. They don't want people competing with them. You know, it's just crazy, man. It's crazy.
Now, like 35 or
31, shut up, I'm not old.
just saying.
In 1970, the minimum wage was $1.40. That is $224 a month. However, the average apartment was only $108. So for 48% of your check, you could get an apartment. Fast forward to 2024, the federal minimum wage is $7.25, which is $1,160 a month, but the average apartment is $1,700. You cannot even afford an apartment today. In fact, if you make twice the minimum wage, you cannot afford an apartment in 2024. If you want to know what it was like growing up in 1970, the average apartment today should be $556. Millennials and Gen Zers, can you imagine how incredible life would be if rent was only $556? But let's look back to 1970 at the median household income. It was $8,700, and the median house price was just $17,000, so just 2 times the yearly salary. Fast forward to today, median household income $85,000, median house $400,000. That is 4.7 times. If you want to know what it was like in 1970, the average house today should be $170,000, which is fair, which would help everyone get into a house, and the American dream would still be alive. So yes, things are always difficult for every generation, but it is significantly harder for millennials and Gen Zers. So boomers, let's stop beefing with each other and let's see how we can help the millennials and Gen Zers have a bright future.
Hey, Grandpa, what do you think's going on with the whole housing thing? Like, why can't people buy houses now?
Well, my generation worked till their hands bled. This generation, everybody's looking for a handout, buying $7 coffees, and they wonder why they can't get a house.
You don't think it has anything to do with the fact that a house is like 7 times your income now? And when you were buying houses, it was like maybe 2 times your income?
Let me tell you something, kid. When I was your age, I made $1 a day, pushing a wheelbarrow full of gravel up Pikes Peak. 3 times.
Don't feel like that's possible, but...
But what, you gonna complain some more? Your grandma worked at the factory for 67 years. 67 years. She only got $1 raise and she didn't complain. $1 raise the entire time she was there.
Yeah, and Grandma has severe health issues because of all that work. She never took time off. She literally cannot walk.
Anyway, to answer your question, I guess it's laziness. No one wants to work.
Yep, I'm sure that's the issue.
We got to cut the millennials and Gen Z some slack because this isn't ordinary. They are moving the goalposts so quickly on the middle class because of the housing. Even that slide you just brought up, someone making $77,000 cannot qualify for a $400,000 home. That's the first time that's ever happened in the past 50 years. So they're being forced to rent. It's eating up 50% of their income.
50+% say we're in a recession. 58% say the economy is getting worse. It's not. By all objective measures, it's getting better. People keep feeling worse. Why is that?
I think it depends
on the age, because I think we're kind of living in two separate economies, if you will. Because if you're somebody who's over 60 years old, if you have a $400,000 home and you have just property taxes and homeowner insurance for $600 a month, that is significantly better than a millennial or Gen Z or spending $2,500 for rent or $3,600 for a mortgage. So I think people under 40 are really feeling the stress about the economy, saying it's not good because housing's up, college is up, daycare is through the roof. But I think people over 60 who sit back and go, my 401k is looking good, my house went up 40%, the economy's doing well, groceries are high, but we can deal. So I think it just depends on the age, because the millennials and Gen Zs are the ones really struggling.
My parents are retired public school teachers. They're like younger boomers and have been teachers their whole lives. I want you to think about what life looks like for a household of 2 public school teachers with 2 kids today. Like, what does their house look like? What's their finances look like? Because this was my parents' situation as 2 public school teachers. This is where I grew up, on a lake with a boat.
She's saying her parents bought a lake house off of teacher incomes. What? That's what I'm saying, man. It's just, they had it too good. Like I said, if you homeless and you old, what was you doing? You literally pissed your whole life away. You literally absolutely pissed your life away, bro. You didn't start trying to do shit till you was like 45. Like, what the fuck? A lake house off of 2 teacher incomes. Absurd.
Like a 3-bedroom house, not like a super fancy house, but a 3-bedroom house. There are currently 2 houses for sale on this lake. One is $530,000 and the other is $1.2 million. On the lake my parents moved onto in the 90s as 2 public school teachers with 2 children. They never had side hustles, they never had summer jobs, they had summers off. They were 2 public school teachers, and this is what that afforded them. My fiance and I now make combined what my parents made when I was like in high school, like decades into their teaching careers. Our apartment, when it rains on the outside, it rains on the inside. It's like enraging and unfathomable thinking about the world that people older than us got to live in, because no one ever gets to live like this with normal jobs ever again.
You know what makes me mad though? It's like I learned that my grandparents and great grandparents, they had a gang of houses. They was multi-millionaires. You know what I'm saying? Multiple houses. And then my mom's mom and her sisters, which are, they're dead now, but they sold it all. They literally sold all the houses, kept one house, spent all the money. Spent all the money, sold all the houses. And I just can't help to think about, like, if they would have kept 5 houses. They had like 20. They had like close to 20 houses combined between all the brothers and sisters, my grandparents, whatever. They had like 20 houses. They only kept 1. I mean, my mom's mom and her sister only kept 1 house. And that 1 house my mom lives in today. And spent all the money. I will be living a multi-millionaire's life right now if they would have just, like, no, wait, let me just sell 2 houses and keep the rest. You know, because everything is up super duper high. I will be able to put my family in a house that, I would have a house to be in right now. But like I said, that generation, that boomer generation is just so narcissistic. Sold all the houses, spent all the money, and died. It's just crazy, man.
He is pissed at us boomers, and I can't say that I blame them.
Just to live in America.
There was an article that came out the other day that said you would have to have 5 minimum wage jobs to live in Austin, Texas, to afford the rent there. It's ridiculous. So those of you who say, well, back in 1980, I made $15 an hour and I bought a house. Well, guess what? Adjusted for inflation, your $15 an hour that you made in 1980 would now be over $112,000 a year. Most young people I meet, they want to work. A lot of people say, oh, the new generation doesn't want to work and they're lazy. No, that's not true. They're smart. They're smarter than us. They just don't want your crappy $15 an hour job. Now, I'm not here to give any answers, but I'm just saying, I feel you, Gen Z. On the other hand, that one young kid who told me yesterday and commented that I shouldn't be on TikTok, get off my lawn, you little fuck.
But that's what I'm saying, like, and I hate when they be like, oh, we don't know what to do. How do we fix this problem? You build more houses. Vote the government belongs to us. We run the government. We're the people. We can literally get together and be like, hey, government, spend $300 billion on housing. You know what I'm saying? Build more homes. It's literally simple. Oh, my house gonna go down and I'm gonna lose $200,000 off the worth of my house. Well, you should have sold it when it was $2 million, dummy. Why are you still holding onto a house you don't live in? You hoarding onto a house that you're not renting out. You just want to see the money signs come in. It's just sad, bro. And these people are close to death acting like this. You about to go see God and you acting this stingy? It's crazy, bro. Absurd. But yeah, if you like the content, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. I'm trying to leave you know, not to buy me a coffee, but buy me some diapers real quick. You know what I'm saying? I just had a baby girl, and that she brings a joy to my life, man. Like, I'm just so happy. I have a son, now I have a daughter, and I'm living life, honestly. That's one thing. Kids make life wonderful, you know? So, if you want to help me out, hey, why not, man? Hit up the description. Buy me a coffee, buy me some diapers, whatever you want to do, man. I appreciate it. If you like the content, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. I'm out of here. Deuces.